you realize that when Gideon, Mahlon, Elimelech, and Naomi, when they left Israel, it was in search of food that they went to Moab. And many people, that's why they left God. That's why many people are committing sin. They are looking for how to make ends meet. That's the reason why some of our young people have gone into Yahoo. It is food they are looking for. And it looks like staying with God is difficult. There are easier ways of doing this thing. There are easier ways of doing this thing. That's how many people turned their back on God and they went out in search of food. And I can tell you tonight that even though you may find abundant food in Moab, there is no abundant life in Moab. They had food in Moab, but they died in Moab. The famine on account of which they ran away from Israel. We were not told that anybody died on account of that famine. They ran from Israel to go look for food in a strange land. They had food, but they died. And every single time when you turn your backs on God, you find only death. Death. Because Jesus says, I am the true bread that came down from heaven. Every other thing out there is counterfeit. When Jesus came into the world, it was announced that it was the visitation of God from the heavens. God has visited our world again. And from the day that Jesus came into the world, I can say to you clearly that bread is now available to all mankind. And all of us that have been lost in our trespasses and sins, can I say to you, it is time to return. It's time to return. There is bread now at home. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. I am the bread of life. Bread is now available. Nobody needs to remain in a strange land anymore. Nobody needs to be in Moab anymore. You don't need to continue in Moab. There is bread again in Israel. And I want to say to you tonight, Jesus calls you. There's bread. There's bread. He says, come to me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest. And I came as God's town crier this evening to announce to one and all, there is bread. There is bread. There is bread. Nobody needs to continue in sin anymore. There is bread under the hand of Jesus.